My name's Kate Sargent and I'm going to show you today how to use the feed budget and rotation planner to calculate a simple feed budget. The feed budget and rotation planner main menu has three tabs. The first one is the instructions, the second is about the data entry, and the third is the data tables. The data tables provide you with the figures that are used throughout the calculator, and they are a useful guide for some of the figures that you need to input as well. The tables are from EverGraze, Lifetime Wool and the Drought Management books from Victoria. So we need to go into data entry, and in here you'll see that there's a number of different questions that you can answer using the calculator. Today we're going to do the how long will my paddock last. The first thing we have to enter is the paddock size. Let's use 10 hectares. The pasture available now is 1500 kilograms per hectare. You'll see that table 6 will provide you with a guide. So 1500 kilograms per hectare of a moderate pasture is somewhere around between 5 and 6 centimetres in height. If ever you're lost in the calculator, go to the top of the page and there will be a back to data entry menu or back to main menu. I'm going to click the back to data entry menu and then how long will my paddock last. The digestibility is the quality of the feed. So you use the pull down menu rather than typing a figure into this box, and I just select 70% and green and grassy. If it had high clover in it, obviously it'd be 80%. My feed wastage factor is the amount that the animals don't actually eat but gets wasted. So usually during the growing season, a good estimate is approximately 30% above what they're eating, or in summer about 50% to allow for a lot more to be trampled and blown away. So let's put 30% in that box there. The pasture growth rate is the amount that the pasture is growing per day in kilograms per hectare. So table 7 does give you a guide, but be careful that because there are huge ranges of pasture growth for different months of the year, depending on where you are and the soil fertility, etc. The best way to determine your pasture growth rate is to actually calculate it yourself by measuring the pasture between two dates. This calculator can give you the calculations required to do that as well. Today I'm just going to use 15 kilograms per hectare per day. Desired pasture available when the animal's removed. Let's use 1000 kilograms per hectare. Okay. So the next thing I have to do is select my stock type. So if I click on the pull down menu, I can select cows, weaner cattle, ewes and wethers or lambs. I'm going to select cows, and I'm going to say they're 600 kilograms per head. They have late lactation, and I've got 100 cows in this paddock. Now you'll see that the consumption per head per day is 16.2 kilograms per head. This amount accounts for both the cow and calf consumption. You can see that there's up to 3 different stock types I can add in here. So the second one I'm going to say is that there's some ewes and wethers in this paddock as well. They're 60 kilograms. They're lactating, and I'm going to say that we've got 100 of those as well. You can see that it's automatically calculated that they are 2.4. They eat 2.4 kilograms per head per day. It's important that if you change the animal class, so we go to weaner cattle for example, you really need to change all of these figures as well. So they're 350 kilograms per head, and until I change these figures it'll say NA, so it's not applicable with their physiological state, and they're eating 8.2, and I'm going to say that there's 50 of them in the paddock. If I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that the pasture available for consumption is 500 kilograms per hectare. This is simply the difference between the amount I start with and the amount that I have when I want to take them out. The total animal consumption plus wastage is 2,639 kilograms dry matter per day. The consumption plus wastage per hectare is simply the 2639 divided by the 10 hectares to give us 263. The change in feed availability is 248 kilograms per hectare per day, and so with the amount that I've got available being 500, that paddock's going to last for 2 days.